everybody, and welcome on out to another edition of the Living Deadwax Podcast. I am your host, Ty, joined by my co-host, co-moderator, one of my best friends, Tyler. Tyler, how are you doing tonight? And you chose tonight's topic, so break it down for us.
I'm doing fantastic. Highlight of the week. Yeah, I chose this week's topic to be topical. This past weekend was a holiday of sorts, possibly, depending on if you celebrate. You could not celebrate, actually. That could be a thing also for you. You choose not to celebrate. Yeah, celebrate privately. But it was Rextra Day. So I picked, we're going to talk about, obviously, Rextra Day for that just happened, 2023. But the overall topic, talk about our favorite memories / releases that we picked up for Rextra Day past. So box sets, 7 inches, whatever, all that kind of cool stuff.
Yeah.
And talk about all that stuff from days yonder.
Yeah, this would be definitely fun. A little trip down memory lane. I still, I got a little bit of stuff that I've kept over the years. A lot of the stuff didn't survive the Great Purge, but so I got a little bit of stuff. I've got stuff from the last couple years that I bought since I've got back into it, and I've got stuff that I've found that are record store day items that I didn't necessarily buy on Record Store Day, but I threw some of those in too that are pretty cool finds. So yeah, before we get into the topic, hit the like button, subscribe, comment down below, notification about all that good stuff. It helps out the channel, helps us keeps the lights on.
That's
so
true.
To speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, let's get into it. And I think we're gonna start with 2023. I know I had a lot more stuff on my personal list than you did. So yeah. I think I'll go through everything of mine, and then we have one release that shares. So then we both can talk about that particular release. So
let's do it.
Tyler and I made the decision to go to our local Zia, our closest Zia to us. Usually that's the store we always go to. And usually
comes through
that store, it always works out. So this year is the big year with the Taylor Swift release. Had the Long Pond folklore sessions or whatever, the live to tape record or whatever. And we showed up. What did we get there around 5? Got there around 5 or so o'clock, and we were pretty back there. I would say I don't know, maybe like 100 deep.
Yeah, at least for sure. And I would say a good many, if not a majority of those 100 people were there for maybe solely, but possibly Taylor Swift plus one for the most part. It was a lot of Swifties out. They were out and they were ravenous.
Yes, definitely. And, like I said, I had a pretty decent list. Tyler had one main thing, and I basically had one main thing too, where if I got nothing, I just wanted this one thing. So Tyler and I went to Thunderbird thinking we're going to be good. Most of the Swifties are just going to buy Taylor. They're not going to be double dipping into other things. And we thought we were good. So I'll start out with just some of my picks. I guess I'll start out with the stuff that I got there, actually.
Yeah.
So, because we had to end up going actually to 3 different stores.
Yeah.
So that is not a record store item. So, all right, I'll go with this. So I picked up the Scott Weiland 12 Bar Blues. This is his solo album. This is, I want to say like 2000, I think this came out. Something like that. It's before Velvet Revolver.
98, 99, I think it was like around one of those years. It says in the back.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's right before. 98. So yeah, it's basically STP is almost done, and a few years before Velvet Revolver. And wanted to pick this up because I never listened to this album. I still have not spun this. I've only spun a couple of my record store day items. But my brother Josh loves this record. I've heard him talk about this album before. And so I was definitely interested in it. It's the first time on vinyl too. And you have some bonus tracks on here that have never made the CD versions. So
yeah,
that was very cool. So yeah, cut from the original master tapes, limited to 4,000 copies. So that's very cool. And it comes on.
Let's hope they did it right.
Bigger here. What do you think it comes on?
I assume blue of some sort.
Okay. You have right. Let me show you
That's,
the
no, it's pink.
hype.
Right?
show you the hype sticker. So that'll kind of give it
Okay.
away there.
All
But
right.
there's the hype, and do have a gatefold. So I'll show that first.
Hell yeah.
So cool stuff there. And we got a. This is LP1. It's on a like a translucent blue.
I'm into it.
So very nice, matches that cover. And then you got a green that kind of matches the logo.
I can appreciate that. They did do it as right as you could, I suppose, right? That's a pretty
Yeah,
good deal.
yeah, not too
Good
bad.
good colorway variant.
Like I said, 4,000 copies. So there's a decent amount of them out there. But like I said, first time on vinyl. Very cool. It's a record store day exclusive. Wasn't a first release or anything. So it's definitely stoked to pick that up. As far as I know about the record, it's very much not like STP. Like it's more
Yeah.
bluesy, poppy. I was reading even like some like definitely alternative, but like some, soul kind of influences too. So definitely Scott spreading his wings and showing his other influences.
Yeah, I actually I haven't listened to it yet, but just thinking about that and putting that within context at the time, STP was still pretty big. Him doing a solo record, probably a huge deal, and I didn't really know it existed, to be honest with you, until this year, and I'd never seen it in the wild, obviously not on vinyl or CD or otherwise, but
Yeah.
I would imagine it was a pretty big deal at the time. So the fact that it's the first time on vinyl, and they only pressed 4,000. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I guess I wouldn't be shocked if I saw one rolling around here or there every so often. But I don't know. 4,000 is not a ton of copies considering how big STP was/is.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. There is definitely an audience for it, especially too first time on vinyl. So
Yeah,
if it
for
was
sure.
floating
So I
if it was
imagine.
floating around on older pressings, it probably wouldn't be as big.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited. I was excited to get that. The next release I got is I'm not going to unfold this because it's a giant thing. It's just on black vinyl. Is Yes. This is live at the Knoxville Civic Auditorium, Knoxville, Tennessee, November 15th, 1972. So this is a classic Yes lineup. This is on 1, 2, 3 LP. So a really good
Mm.
set. This was a part of a box set that Rhino released. I want to say like a year or two ago. That was a bunch of stuff from this tour, and that box set's like $1,000. So
Jesus.
this set was just pulled from that box set. Record Store Day exclusive release and in a quantity of 6,000. So this will probably be floating around as well. But definitely wanted to get that. I haven't spun this one either. It's got definitely mixed reviews. There's the back of it. Mixed reviews on the Hoffman boards. I think some people are just don't like the mix of it. I don't think it's the pressing's bad. I think it's literally just the mix ripped from the board. So, but I'm excited to listen to it. It's a classic Yes album. A lot of good tracks on here, and very cool cover too. Kind of understated watercolor, fits the Yes
Yeah.
vibe. So I appreciate it. And there is the hype sticker
Very
as well.
cool.
So it was cool.
So also, side note here, they were releasing a lot of live record time. It looks like, and back in 2015. And the next live record in the queue for them afterwards came out. It was Like It Is, Yes, at the Mesa Arts Center here in town. So kind of cool. From
Yes,
20
I
from the 2014 tour.
I have seen that.
Yeah.
I have seen that release floating around. So yeah, I would eventually would be interested in picking that up too. It's definitely newer, yes. So you got the different lineups, So it's kind of what you're into. Yes, actually has a new album coming out this year. I
Ooh,
think it's a few months. So
interesting. There you go.
next up, I got at the first stop was this, which is Enslaved. with Hordane's Land. This is an early Enslaved EP. This was originally released as a split with Emperor. And there's the back. And this is a really nice cover, kind of embossed, raised. You kind of see it there
I
glistening
do like that.
in the light. And this is a really nice variant too. Cool gatefold with lots of write-ups in here.
That's cool. Glossy pictures and stuff too. Like that.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice presentation. This thing was not fucking cheap.
No.
So I'm glad
Or
they put I'm glad they put effort into it for sure. And there's the variant.
Oh wow, that is cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
They're very
$28 cool, but I mean, there you go.
I'm a fan of the band.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm a fan of the band. So yeah, it's
There
limited
you got it.
exclusive 2023 reissue. Discogs doesn't say how many it was out of. I want to say this is like 2,500 or something. Wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
Wasn't a lot. So definitely a fan of the band. This has been floating around with reissues, so this isn't going to be like crazy expensive. You can get this if you want it.
Okay. Did not know that.
So yeah. But I'm a sucker, and I just wanted that variant. Last thing I picked up, and the only reason I picked this up because I did not think we were going to get our main release that we wanted, because the first stop we made, they did not have the main release. We don't know how many they got. We know for sure they probably got 3 or 4, and from what we saw with people walking out. Yeah, because they were letting in like chunks of 10, I think. Mm-hmm. So we were like, we probably didn't get in. We showed up at 5. They opened at 7. We probably didn't get in till 7:30.
Something like that, I would say.
Yeah, roughly. So yeah. So I picked this up. Queensryche Operation Mindcrime 2. This is the sequel that nobody ever asked for. Because I think Jeff was at this point was creatively bankrupt, and I was like, well, let's do a sequel to that album everybody loved. So to be fair, this isn't a bad record. It's just not nearly as good as one. There is some cool guests on here. Ronnie James Dio is on here. They bring back Pamela Moore, who did Sister Mary on the first record, so that's pretty cool. Bunch of other guys, and almost the classic lineup. Obviously, you don't have Chris DeGarmo, but Eddie Jackson, Scott Rockenfeld still in the band at this point. Michael Wilton, Mike Stone, who's in the band currently. So, and Jeff Tate on vocals. This is limited to 2,500 copies. This is a Record Store Day first, so not an exclusive. Only reason I bought it was because I did not think we were going to get our heavy hitter. So, I could have waited until honestly this came out. In its regular print run, but you do get a nice red translucent. So I imagine the new one, the second pressing, is just going to be black.
Yeah.
And this has not been on vinyl since 2006. Original copies are very expensive.
Insane. Insane they even exist at all.
Yeah. 2 LP. There's the gatefold. Yeah. So cool stuff there. So yeah, I'm excited to have it. I'm a completionist for Queensryche, so I'll buy anything probably that comes out, except that FU record that's been out for they reissued that 6 months ago, and I still have not bought that record because fuck that record.
What's that record? What's wrong with that?
That's the record that Jeff did when there was 2 Queensryches.
Oh, okay. It's called FU.
Yeah, so it's called FU. It's got the big fist on the cover.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yes.
That's the band with Rudy Sarzo in the band and a bunch of other just hired guns, big names. And he put that out at the same time that Michael and Eddie and Scott put out the Queensryche, the self-titled, the first album with Todd. So
interesting.
Just petty shit. I haven't bought that. That's been out for they reissued that 6 months ago, and I refuse. I'll just wait till it's $10 on Amazon.
Yeah, is that called Jeff Tate's Queensryche?
No, it's called Queensryche. That's when they were still
Oh, okay.
Two Queensryches. Yeah, that's
I
before
always
they
was
they
under,
won the lawsuit and won the name.
okay. I was always in the impression that it was always not obviously not originally or anything like that, but once they broke up, I was always in the impression that Jeff called it Jeff Tate's Queensryche, but I guess that was probably the settlement. What isn't the settlement that he was able to use Jeff Tate from Queensryche for like 2 years or something or other, like something like that, and that was how he was able to tag himself for a while
He
afterwards.
can use Operation Mindcrime and he can use Empire and shit. I don't know the
Yeah,
nitty gritty of the lawsuit.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just know that album was Queensryche. Their album was also Queensryche. Scott and Eddie and Michael put into a lawsuit together. They sued Jeff. They won
yeah,
the name. Now Jeff is just Jeff Tate of
yeah,
formerly of Queensryche. Shit, that's the way.
yeah, yeah.
That's the way they bill shit now. So, but yes, there was two albums competing at the same time, both by
Same band.
Queensryche, two different lineups. One album is very good. The other album, I've never actually listened to it, but I'm assuming it's not good. Especially based on the Queensryche output that Jeff was putting out with Queensryche at the end. So, anyways, so Tyler and I were kind of like, well, what the hell do we do now? Because Tyler didn't get his main thing, neither did I. So we decided, let's go to Camelback Zia. Camelback Zia. Yeah, a little bit more centrally located, but usually on record store days, they usually have a lot left over. Mm-hmm. So we went, and they did not have a lot left over, but I was able to come away with one thing. Let me list another heavy hitter for me. This is In This Moment with Beautiful Tragedy. This is their debut album. I want to say it's like 07 or 08. Yeah, metalcore, screamy verses, singing choruses, female fronted band. Very cool album. This is the only album I really like by this band. And this is the first time on vinyl. There's the hype.
Hell yeah.
And this was this is a regional release, so I'm assuming it just came out in the States. There's the back. And yes, and there's the blue.
Hell yeah.
And this is out of 1,000 copies, so I was super stoked to get this. Didn't think I was going to get it. Our first stop didn't have it. Second stop, this is the only thing I bought there. So,
and they're pretty tapped for a lot of shit.
They were very tapped. They were very, very tapped. And Tyler and I were basically both like, well, we still haven't gotten our main heavy hitter. There's one other thing that I really wanted too. Probably the two heaviest hitters that I wanted on the list I haven't gotten yet. Yeah. So Tyler and I were, screw it, let's go to the In Groove. In Groove is a store here in Phoenix, and everybody knows, like, if you're into vinyl, Mike, the guy who owns the store, has become a folk legend of sorts in the vinyl game. He took on MoFi. He took on the United States Postal Service. So
forgot about that until now. Yes,
national mainstream
was on
articles
on CNN, Fox News, MSNBC. I don't know. He was on
New
the
York
major
Times.
network.
Yeah,
New York Times. Yeah, he was on. It was crazy.
Yeah. So anyway, In Groove, very popular store, and usually Mike gets a lot of everything in. And I'm going to confirm now he gets the most out of any Phoenix store. I don't know if he's the only store that's ordering the most, but this year I can guarantee he had the most out of any of the stores. He definitely had way more than the two Zias we went to, and usually Zia's fine. Usually we never have issues.
So
Tyler and I... Go ahead.
For context, our hypothesis for our main item here, the main thing we're talking about, we hypothesize that each Zia store, so they have, I think, 7 total with among us, Arizona and Vegas. I think there's 6 or 7 total. We hypothesize that each Zia location got 1 box of our main item, which it looked to be when we compared pictures and stuff like that to boxes we saw that were newly unsealed at Mike's. Each comes with 9 or 12. What was it?
It's 12.
12. So our hypothesis is that maybe each Zia might have got among the 7 locations or 6, 7 locations, might have got a box. They might have had 12 copies of Van Halen Right Here, Right Now. That was
Yep.
what we were going for. That was the big
Yeah.
big release. Just
The big
stepped on
release,
that
yeah.
one. The big
That's
release.
right.
But so we hypothesized that's what happened. But when we looked at Mike's picture that he posted up on Friday or Thursday or Friday, he showed off his back inventory for all the extra day releases, and he had 9 boxes.
Yeah, I think he had 9. He either had 12 boxes and they contained 9, or vice versa. So either way,
Yeah,
either way, we think he had 108 copies of Van Halen's Live Right Here, Right Now.
Yeah.
So that was the big release both and I, Tyler, wanted. The other main release I'll show up real quick before we get into the Van Halen is this, which is probably my second favorite release out of all the stuff. I spun the Van Halen, which we'll talk about, and I spun this. And this is the Midnight Live. It's Red, White, and Bruised. This is their first, I guess I'll call this a record, live album. It's only 8 tracks. So to me, it's kind of more of like an EP. But this is out of 1,500 copies. Cool thing about this is all their stuff they basically self-release. So that is the coolest thing about this. And it's 1,500 copies. And there was red, there was blue, and clear. And or it's 1,300 copies, excuse me. And they randomly mixed in like the colors. So you didn't know what you were getting. So nobody really knows if there's like 500 copies of red, 300 of blue, and then the rest in clear or whatever. Or it's like kind of evenly spaced out. But there's the hype sticker on this one.
Okay.
If it would focus a little bit. So pretty cool. And I was so happy with this when I opened it up, and I'll open it up here in a minute. But it's just so well done. And all their stuff, this is one of the main things I wanted, because all their stuff hits their web store and it sells out. And it goes on Discogs for good money. And because they don't do a ton of pressings of stuff. And I got Clear. So there's Clear.
Mm-hmm.
Just basic stuff there. But it is a very nice, heavy cardstock. Heavy cardstock. Like Tyler would appreciate this. It's glossy. It's got that like kind of. It's got that reflective, like a Pokemon card.
I do.
Refractor. Yeah, the holographic. The Midnight is a synthwave band, by the way. They're a synthwave duo. There's 2 main guys in the band. Tim McEwen, who's based out of LA, and Tyler Lyle, who is based out of Atlanta. And Tyler Lyle's been like a singer-songwriter guy in the Atlanta scene for like 10 years or so. And they got together, started doing cool retro synthwave. There's the gatefold. Very cool live shot.
Ooh, I do like that.
Yeah, this is awesome. Cool thing about this too, and I didn't know this because I've watched live footage of them, and I must have been watching live stuff because they didn't have a drum. They didn't have a drummer. They were just doing it on a drum machine. They have a drummer in the band now. And so all of this stuff sounds not totally different, but it sounds different than it does on album. So like this is a totally different experience. So nice heavy cardstock sleeve. There's my download code. I don't know why I don't know. I might
don't give it away.
So so I was super stoked to get this because this is 1,300 copies, and neither of the Zias had it. So third stop at the In Groove, Mike came through, and I was able to pick up the Midnight's live album. So that was very cool. And then Tyler, if you want to show off the bell of the ball, get that ball rolling.
So we did. I'm sorry, go on.
So Tyler and I got there though. We got there at he opened at 8. Zia opened at 7. We got into Thunderbird Zia at 7:30. Shop there, and then we instantly left. I got a couple things I wanted. Instantly left. Went to Camelback. Basically got nothing. I got the one thing left.
Yeah.
And they were like, "All right, let's go to In Groove." We got to In Groove maybe a half hour after he opened, and we were the 100th in line because the girl in front of us, who we coincidentally just talked to for an hour, and found out a bunch of crazy things that she lived in Tyler's old neighborhood and shit. And Tyler had met her in a past life and shit. So the world is
Not in a past life. Not a past. I knew her brother in middle school, elementary, and high school because he was friends with my friends, whatever. He was younger,
yeah.
but also I met her and I forgot all about this person existing, and then now found her, in life again, and it's interesting.
Yeah.
But yes, so that was a crazy thing. Small world. So yes, we spent an hour talking to her, and yeah, we were 100 something in line, whatever. And
Reason I say that is
we
because she's like, she was counting and she's like, yeah,
yeah
I'm the 100. I'm like the 100th person in line. So
yeah
we knew how many he had, which is about 108. We didn't know how many he had already sold by the time we got
yeah
there. So it was kind of a crapshoot. We're in line, talking to her forever. She was just there for the Taylor. That's the only thing she bought. That's the
yeah
only thing she collects too, which I found fascinating. Like, didn't collect any other artists, didn't collect any other
like
records, any other vinyl, just like Taylor shit. Um,
yeah.
so we get up there, and Tyler asks Alex, I think is the girl who works there's name, and
Go
if
with
they
it.
still had Van Halen, and they did. So we were getting inside, and the line got cut off, and Tyler and the girl that we were with went in.
Mhm.
Katie, I think was her name,
I
and
think her name was
yeah, and they had this. So Tyler showed off.
So walked in. The only thing, like I said, the only thing I cared about really at this point, and they had a little mini stack there, and I grabbed two because I didn't want to risk my brother over there not getting one. So I grabbed two and walked around with them and looked through other stuff. Then Ty walked in, handed it over to Ty. We both got brand new, minty, all corners looking really nice of the Van Halen Live right here, right now from 1993, the 30th anniversary. So very sick, very cool. Here's the hype sticker for that. So first time on vinyl, and if you're a fan of on Translucent Red, and if you're a fan of Van Halen, it might be the only thing that ever comes out on vinyl for this. So I don't know if they're going to repress it. Wouldn't shock me at all if they never talk about it or touch it again. Who knows?
Yeah, me neither.
So we had to get it. So we got it, and sick. It's on Translucent Red here, which is pretty good. The only downside of this release, really, at this point, it's $100. It's $100 price point, which is a pretty pricey item here. It's 4 LP, so obviously, it all works out. But they didn't include the nice polyline sleeves for $100. $100.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was gonna tell you this. Oh, okay, maybe not. So there's a mix, I think, on the fourth LP that makes the fourth one a little bit more or a little less see-through than the others. I don't know why it's just the fourth LP, but I guess that's the word on the streets for certain folks. And I checked, and that's also what's happening with mine. I don't know if it's happening with yours as well, but yeah, just a little dealio there.
180 gram set is very heavy.
Yeah, 100%. And it's pretty good. I mean, obviously, it's the first live record they ever did that was released like professionally, and it's only one of two they've done in history of the band. So with it being with Sammy Hagar and the fact that they were feuding with Sammy for the last 27 years, I guess it is now. They have not touched or talked about the Sammy stuff really since then. So this is the first of the Sammy reissues that Don Landy, their co-producer or engineer that worked with Ted Templeman, it's the first one he's overseeing, and they're supposedly, word on the street, is they're going back and doing everything for the Sammy era, which is long overdue at this point. So first release, we had to get this. So this was my big one, the one I really cared about. So I'm glad we actually ended up grabbing it.
Yeah, this is 7,500 copies too, which is
Worldwide.
a lot, but it's like not a lot for Van Halen. Like it's a giant. I mean, Van Halen's a giant band. Plus, everybody's been talking about the Sammy stuff for years. We got to get Sammy reissues. Obviously, all the 90s shit, all that shit's ridiculous amounts of money. Balance, fuck. This has never been on vinyl. So yeah, we were both pretty bummed like when we weren't getting it, and because we were both like, all right, how much would you pay? on the secondary market, and we were both like maybe
We were going
150.
150.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So glad we didn't have to do that. I did spin this entire thing along with the Midnight, the only two things I've spun so far from this haul. And I think it sounds wonderful. I think
Yeah.
it's been getting really good reviews online. A lot of people compare it to the CD, and it's people are saying it's way less brick walled than the
Mhm.
CD. So they did definitely do things to it. Cool thing
Yeah.
about this too is you get everything. You get all the tracks. So you get the tracks that were on the Laserdisc and the DVD and not on the CD and shit, and put all into one thing. So it's
Yeah.
definitely a long ass listen, and you're flipping it. You're changing it 4 different fucking times and flipping it
Yeah.
8 times or whatever.
Yeah.
So I had to do it in 2 sittings. I could listen to it for like an hour and a half one night and an hour and a half on another night. I think it's like 3 hours long,
Yeah.
but it's it's really good. The band sounds really fucking cool, and we just did the Van Halen ranking, so like I had a different appreciation for a lot of these songs because they play almost the entire fuck album.
Yeah. It's on the tour. So yeah, which is pretty shocking,
Yeah,
even for that being the tour.
yeah, like I'm pretty sure it's close to the entire album as far as I remember, and so you're hearing a lot of cool stuff. You get a lot of cool Sammy tracks too from his solo years. You get a
Yeah.
couple choice Dave songs too. Like Jump sounds fucking awesome on this. Ain't Talking About Love. Like Sammy sounds great. And that guy, I know they redid the vocals and shit, but um I think it's mixed really well. Like I think
Yeah.
I'm really happy with this. I did have to change out the sleeves. I wish we just got polys. Like, it's the bare minimum.
The bare
You know,
minimum.
Tyler and I were talking like I'm kind of disappointed they didn't do it as a box set, but I'm kind of stoked because if they put a box, it'd be $150
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. And they'd make 2,000 of them and they would never fucking make it again. So
Yeah.
it's just
So
ridiculous. Um, yeah, I was stoked. I was really afraid that we were gonna, or at least because at least you found everything on your list you found, which I was stoked about. And I honestly like it was the Doors for me, and then I just ended up not getting the Doors because it's just ridiculous. I just couldn't justify spending
yeah,
$45 on three-inch records that I'm going to assume are going to hang out for a minute. So I can pick them up, and I looked today, and they're going for like $17.
yeah. So
So
not much
it's
more.
I can get a hold of them if I want to, which I'm happy with that, right? But yeah, the Van Halen was what it was for me, and it was funny. We were talking in line, and we were like judging everybody that walked up and seeing like, because that's what you do. I mean, we all do it. We were
Right.
judging. We do it every year, judging who our competition is basically. So when people would go in the store, we wouldn't sweat certain folks. We might sweat others, and we're like, shit, that guy's getting a Van Halen. That guy's getting 100%. He's getting the Van Halen for sure. So like
Yeah.
we were just worried about like at a certain point, once we get up there, are they gonna be gone? And then obviously they weren't, which is it all worked out for us. But yeah, I'm stoked for it. I'm stoked to get the Sammy records coming up here, hopefully pretty soon. And from what Sammy said on Instagram, I sent you the screenshot of it. He said they're gonna do more of that, and they're gonna do a box too. So
Boxes.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what all that entails necessarily, because as far as I know, Sammy's talked about how they don't have a ton of stuff that would constitute like super special box set editions. Like they didn't really record a ton of extra things. So I think Sammy's actually talked about there's like maybe a couple songs that he knows about that are completely done up and good and ready to go out the door. There's only maybe two or three I think he's talked about that he knows of. So I don't know what all a box would be. Maybe more live stuff, but again, Van Halen uh, notoriously did not record a lot of shit on their tours. And they never released it and everything else
Yeah.
because as Ty and I talked about at length on Saturday, they are one of the worst bands in the world business wise. They've left so much money on the table for so many years, and they might just continue to do so. Who knows? But hopefully, we get
Um,
more stuff to come, more cool shit that we've never heard before or seen before.
my big fear, and we talked about this previously when we talked about the list, and we talked about this on Saturday, is that they're going to do record store day shit every
Yeah,
year
we
for
have to
the
do this every
releases.
year.
And my big fear too is Taylor's going to just keep doing record store day stuff too because of all her shit selling so well. So like I got a feeling that every line for the foreseeable future
Next
is
5
going to
years.
be like those lines because I don't think she's going to stop. There's no reason to.
Yeah.
Um, and that's not even like any dig on her. That's just being the opposite of Van Halen and realizing, hey, I can make money, and you know.
Yeah.
So I don't see her having it. If there's something to put out, I imagine they're going to keep doing the Taylor Record Store Day stuff. So the lines are always going to be crazy, and it is what it is. I'm not one of those guys like I don't whatever like. Most of those people are just buying the Taylor anyway, so it's literally
Yes.
just the inconvenience of being like the 100th in line.
Yeah.
You know,
And
so.
just the sweating on the possibility of not getting your shit, that sucks. Like that sucks. But like I don't care. I don't care if Taylor fans want to go out there and buy the shit. Whatever. Again, people can do what they want to do with their time and money and effort and whatever else, right? But a vast majority I saw of people that were not I'm sure there were people at our place too that we saw. There were people from the night before because there was food and stuff at the front of the line, so people were there the night before.
Yes.
So they camped out overnight, and the thing that's crazy is a lot of people do that at a lot of stores, but not every store, obviously. But if you had a good enough store, a big enough chain, or what have you, you were getting the record regardless. When Ty and I walked in, the guy had at both Zia locations. He had carts. They had carts they were rolling around to restock the Taylor sections or whatever, right? So like this limited to 115,000 copies is not exactly limited. You didn't need to hang out overnight. You honestly didn't even need to stand in line. You could have showed up at noon probably and still ended up with a copy. Mike had
I think he had 300
hundreds
of
of them.
them. He had
Yeah.
300, and then I'm trying to remember because I watched some of the live stream after. I don't think he sold out of them. He sold out of them the next day online, and it is sold out online. A lot of people were on the Hoffman boards trying to find it, and so it definitely did. It definitely is gone unless the distributor held back. And
That's
there's
true.
some
It's
that are
always possible.
they're coming. That some that are coming at a later date because they have done that. Like one of the last Pearl Jam releases they did. Because in Mike's video he was talking. Yeah, I just kept ordering Pearl Jam. Not this Pearl Jam that came out this year, but last year's whatever last year's Pearl Jam was released. He's like, yeah, they just kept saying, yeah, there's more available, and I just kept ordering them.
Yeah.
So he had
It's
them for
possible.
months after Record Store Day. So who knows?
Like the Taylor stuff, like it was going to sell. Like, and we talked about like I think however many he felt comfortable ordering is probably how many ever they're gonna send. Like if he wanted to order 1,000 of them, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, all right, cool. Are you sure you want that inventory? Like, are you sure you want to order? Like, however many you're comfortable with having as dead stock for whether it be a week or whether it be a month. Who knows? Whatever. That's as many probably as you could have ordered. That's me being a novice and knowing nothing about the business necessarily of Record Day releases. But 115,000 is so many copies. It is so many. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's probably the largest release ever.
I think it is. I think I did read that.
Like I'm going to assume that, right?
Yeah.
So whatever. Good for her. Good for her fans. They got a bunch of cool stuff. I guess they really like, and it all worked out. And most people, if not all people that we ever met there saw, they definitely got a copy if they wanted it. So good for them. I'm happy about that. I was just super stressed and very relieved at the end that we ended up getting the Van Halen or whatever. So that was a good day. It was a good day capped off, with getting the one thing. I did almost pick up the Warden Z-Bottom record, for the Wind or whatever. I did almost pick that up. But I was honestly just buying it for one song, and then it was at first. So like it wasn't really something I needed to sweat. I didn't need to spend the $38 on it. It wasn't that important to me. And the Frank Turner stuff, Frank Turner for Tape Deck Heart, that was a 10-year release. I'm sure I'm going to see that. I don't think it's going to be gone. I could be lying to you, but that was the only other thing I really thought about. But just a Hyundai straight up from Van Halen. That was good enough for me. That's all I really needed.
Yeah. I'm stoked to get it. Like I said, I hope that they keep don't do them on Record Store Day. And I don't need box sets. I just want nice gatefold 2 LP versions of like Balance and Foreign Kernel and stuff like that.
I do wish they do a write up. I do wish that they would do a write ups from all the guys and whatever, right? Like I understand, like Eddie's passed away, right? Obviously, but it would be cool if Sammy or Michael or Al or whomever, or they've got like David Frick or something, one of the Rolling Stone guys, whatever, to do a write up for the record. That would be fucking cool. There was nothing extra added to this besides the songs, whatever, and the gatefolds and everything. Everything was super nice and well done, but maybe just nitpicky. Would have liked to add new liner notes or what have you.
Okay. Yeah, I can agree with you there. So maybe we'll get that on the actual studio albums. And just some just like that, remix it. You don't got to redo everything, but OU812, I have OU812, but it sounds like shit. So let's do that. Let's remix that. 5150, don't even bother with it. Sounds excellent. Fuck sounds pretty good from what I remember. Balance is pretty awful. So maybe we could redo Balance a little bit.
Yeah.
So, so it'll be interesting to see what's coming. Hopefully we get all of them. Hopefully we get all the Sammy shit. Let's do it. So yeah, definitely a fun record store day. Quite a heavy list for me. It got everything that I wanted. Ended up not getting like 5 things too that were on my. If I can't find this, I'll get this stuff.
Fair.
So,
but you could have. So that's a good thing too, I guess, right?
I did see the stuff. Yeah, I could have for sure. But yeah, I was already heavy deep in the money's there, and then the Van Halen's like a third of what I spent. So, it's rough spending when that $100 takes away. But at least it's a 4 LP. You get everything all in one shot. So I'm not going to complain there. So yeah, guys, that's our Record Store Day 2023. It was a fun one. It was a memorable one. So if you like Record Store Day, stick around because we're going to get into the main topic right now. And we're going to talk about Record Store Day stories and talk about some of our favorite releases over the years. So Tyler, if you want to kick us off, go right ahead.
All right. So we're going to kick it off with a heavy hitter. Probably the release that Ty and I have the most story about, and it has nothing to do with anything Ty wanted. So in 2015, I think it was, one of my favorite bands, Brand New, they decided they were going to finally repress the sophomore record, Deja and Tendu. As fans, we were convinced that they may have never actually may never actually repress any of the older records because they had not done so at that point. So we, as a fandom, saw they were going to repress it. We're like, oh shit, that's crazy. And they were going to do a mass black repress. Awesome. Then they also added in there, they were going to do I believe 500 special Record Day releases for the band or for the record. So I needed to get that for sure. And so it was a day after I had already seen the band and I was already in the line for the band to go see them for like 12 hours. And then the next day was Record Store Day. So maybe the day after, either the day after or the next day, I forget. But either way, either in 48 hours, it was 24, or of 24 of 72 hours, I was waiting in line for this band. Because Ty and I got there at about 10 or so. I don't know. 8, 9 o'clock. And we parked outside and we waited all night in line in the back of his truck to be first in line to get this release. So we waited until 8 or 9, I forget at that point. And they opened the doors and managed to grab the 2 copies. I have 2 copies. I still have both, but I have one sealed and I have this one that is open, and managed to grab this. And
I bought the other one.
You did, yeah.
Zia wasn't selling 2 copies.
They weren't.
Preface that.
Yeah, just make sure. Also, still have the receipt here.
Nice.
Yeah. So
how much was it?
All right. So for the Deja, we're looking at $39.99. I also got the Death Cab. Yeah. I got the Death Cab and Freddie Johnson split, the side by side. I got the Slayer, When the Stillness Comes. I have.
Ooh, nice.
I bought one for you. I don't know why I bought one for you. Clutch, From Beale Street to Oblivion.
Yeah, you bought that for me because I bought that other copy.
Okay,
that Deja.
There. Oh, that was what offset. Yeah, there we go. That's what happened. So okay. So and then I got the wrestling album as well. They repressed the WWF
that was that
records.
year.
That was that year. And then also Tegan and Sarah live at Zia Records, which was a show that I was at that very same Zia Records that we went to, and went to go pull it today for this episode, and it's nowhere to be found. So I don't know what happened here. But I'll find it hopefully eventually. But anyway, it's a die cut on green. It's all black. It's all the same stuff. But just a die cut cover. They never did anything else with this beyond this. And the repress that they've put out since then that they've kept dropping. The only difference between that and this is the die cut. The represses, none of them have brand new Deja intend to appear anymore. The original copies did, but none of them have that to say that on here. It's a sticker that actually is on the cellophane. That's all it is now. But came with this and came with a bunch of other cool gimmicks. Ooh, hold on. Maybe it's in here. Yes, it is. So it came with. Oh, what were you gonna say?
See that keep going, but that is before they started doing what they do now, where they line everything up in alphabetical order, like
Yeah,
on the CD shelves, so you like zigzag through. This is when
Yeah.
they were just kind of placing shit in the store,
yeah, they're
and
hiding.
I remember us like looking through the glass and shit, and like, oh, that one's on the back wall, and so that was kind of the fun aspect of it, trying to peek into the goddamn store to find out where it was, because even though we were the first two in line, it didn't really
We still,
mean that we were going to get it.
yeah, 100%. So as the patch, the Young Series
That's
patch,
cool. Yeah.
which is sick. It has the heavy lyric book for the Deja record. They did these for all the records eventually, or maybe not all of them, maybe just up through Daisy. But they had these as well. It's a cool, lyric book presentation. It's very heavy cardstock, and they also included a Pagaeth, which is what they call this series sticker. So all in all, was super stoked to get this, and I mean, it was a good time. We had fun. We saw a lot of weird stuff hanging out there all night outside of record store. Didn't see a cop really, right? I don't think a cop ever came by, but we did see a lot of nefarious folks, right? We saw what we believe, and I believe our thoughts were validated later on. We saw an illegal gambling parlor as posing as an internet cafe in that same complex, and we saw people coming and going all night, and we're like, this is a very sketch deal. And then I think our buddy Terry told us shortly thereafter that they got closed down because it was indeed an illegal gambling operation. So interesting. But
you probably already said this. What year was that again?
I think it was 15, either 14 or 15.
Okay. And it was out of 500 copies.
I believe so. Yeah, 500 for this exact.
And they got two of them, right? We got the only two they had.
We only got the only two. Yeah, they only had two, and and these were going. I think they still go for fucking crazy money. But this is the only special edition, and they put. I remember before anybody ever knew anything about this release, they just knew the picture of the paper bag, and I remember people also speculating that Brand New is such a like troll band almost with special things that they hypothesized that the only thing special about this release was going to be this bag. It was just going to be the repress that everybody else had it inside. So the bag was literally what you were paying for, and then they did give us some extra stuff, little special things. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, there you go. So Brand New.
You're correct. It was 2015.
Nice.
There was a test pressing. It was on Discogs at one point.
Oh wow.
It was 1,400 copies.
Oh. What? There's 1,400 copies? That's serious? Jeez. Yeah. Okay, I was way off.
Right. Still not bad. I mean, still not bad. It's the highest it's ever sold for is 400. There's 5 for sale right now. Sealed for $400. So
okay.
There's somebody trying to get $1,000.
It's
open.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't think
that's
fun.
Crazy.
That's
around.
That is definitely. It's the only thing in life I've ever done that for. Actually, I don't think there's been anything in my life that I gave a shit enough about to sit outside all night. But it was definitely fun. It was fun.
Yeah.
I would never do it again. Like as a 10-year-older man now at this point in my life.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it would have to be something crazy, like something crazy. Like,
dude,
I remember we talked about Caitlin. We were talking about 4. Like that was pretty crazy, right?
Yeah, maybe if Balance is like 1,000 copies on a record store day or something.
Yeah, and they really were doing it where they're not gonna they're not gonna press any more. This is it. Like this is all.
Yeah.
Only 1,000 Van Halen fans on the planet are gonna have these. So there you go.
That would be like maybe the only things. Um,
Yeah,
but yeah, that's a good choice. That's definitely a big heavy hitter for both of us too. Not important record to me, but just the story involved and definitely the longest record store day we've ever had.
God, yeah, that was gnarly, fucking
All
crazy.
right.
There you go.
So I'm gonna go with my first one. This was a 2018 record store day release. Now this is not worth a ton of money. There's 20 $20 copies of this online, but I'm pulling it out because it is one of the most important albums in my entire life and listening to music. That's AC/DC Back in Black.
Nice.
They did this cassette out of 2,500 copies worldwide for Record Store Day 2018. I have no idea why they did this, uh, but I knew I had to have it. This is the first piece of physical media music that I ever owned in my life. Played this album to death, wore out my cassette copy, and I still have this still sealed. Like I said, it's not worth a ton of money. I probably spent like 10, $15 on it. You can buy it on Discogs for like 20, $25 now.
Yeah.
So, basically nothing Back in Black's ever going to be worth money. There's 20 million copies of this, but in various different formats. But it means a lot. It means a lot to me personally because of my history and connection to this band and this album in particular. And when I had the opportunity to own a brand new cassette copy, that is a Record Store Day exclusive as well. There still is only 2,500 copies of this particular pressing of this. Had to take the opportunity. So figure I'd take the chance to show that off. So there we go. AC/DC
awesome.
with Back in Black from 2018 Record Store Day.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't think AC/DC has. I mean, off the top of my head, I don't think they have really anything else on Record Store Day. They did. Am I wrong?
Trying to think of it, and I didn't look it up, but I couldn't really remember anything. I probably would have bought it, and I don't remember ever buying anything AC/DC.
Yeah, beyond maybe if they did like a weird picture disc of some kind at some point. Beyond that, which is I guess possible, and neither of us really seek out or want to buy too many picture discs. So if they did, we don't have it, and that's when you bought it. But off the top of my head, I cannot tell you another AC/DC item that ever came out on Record Store Day. At least.
Let's see here. Like 2021, there was a 12-inch picture disc.
Okay,
that was a single. I think it's from the new songs from the new album. Yeah, I don't because I don't know these songs. That's all that's coming up. So not a lot of stuff outside of this cassette. So, yeah,
that's crazy. All right, so there you go. AC's Back in Black. All right, so another one I have here. I did not buy this on Record Store Day. I picked this up a few years later. And I don't know. I think I might have went to this. It was 2009, so I might have went, but I wasn't. I was not nearly really that concerned about Record Store Day at the time. I wasn't super serious and deep into collecting anything like that. So whatever. But I picked this up a couple of years later, and it's one of the cooler things, like packaging wise, that I actually own, and I'm stoked for what it is. But it's going to be the Slayer Psychopathy Red 7-inch, and it's cool. It's in a Russian evidence bag or an envelope, I guess it would be. And there used to be a pin here that would be on, but that's since fallen off. But it's super sick. This is out of I think 1,500 maybe. So there's a few of them out there, and it's 2009, so it's still we're still approaching Record Store Day being a big deal, but it's on
5,000.
5,000. There you go. So it's on red, and it just looks fucking super sick. I still enjoyed this record. Like I know it's not nothing that the original.
No, World Pain and Blood's good.
Yeah, it's a cool record. They had cool videos and stuff. They put like production behind it. They put effort into promoting it. which is cool. And this was another little bit of that, and it's all in Russian. Like that's pretty fucking crazy.
Well, here you go.
Um,
Yeah, it's limited to 5,000 copies, pressed on transparent red vinyl, like Tyler showed. It's in a single 7-inch bag, brown, bloodstained crime scene evidence envelope, all in Russian letters. The song was inspired by Russian serial killer Andrei Chikatilo, aka the
okay.
Rostov Ripper, who claimed to have murdered 56 children. So, good guy.
Are,
Um, yeah, that's probably a Tom song then, if it's about a serial killer.
I would,
No,
yeah, I bet
Jeff.
money.
Music and lyrics by Jeff Hanneman. So it's a Jeff song.
Ooh, all right.
Um, what's the B side? It's untitled
So
because the style of this is thrash and spoken word. So
okay.
is it like that guy's having an interview on the other side? I'd be really interested.
I've probably never. So yes, okay. So this side says Psychopathy Red, right? So there's that,
Yeah,
and then the other
that's
side
the A side. The
is
song.
just yeah, and then the other side just is blank.
Yeah, the B side is untitled. The style of music is thrash, which makes sense, and
Yeah,
spoken word. So B side is a spoken word
yeah.
2 minute and 19-second track. Spin that when we get off. I'd be curious to say. I want to know what the hell it is.
I'll let you know. Also, another interesting deal: the Deadwax is also in Russian.
That's
You
very
can't
cool.
see it really,
I
but they
can kind
went
of see it. Yeah.
all the way. They went. So interesting. Yeah, I did not know the story. I guess, but that it was about the Russian serial killer that killed all those children.
Yeah.
I do actually have also have a sealed copy.
Oh
So
shit.
so I have a sealed copy that we picked up here at some point, and so I was stoked that I was able
That's
to find
cool.
a sealed copy. But this is brand new, and then this is the first copy I found. But yeah, fucking awesome. A really cool presentation. Copy the Red is a cool song, and yeah, I've never
It's
seen
also
this,
a
so the side will be interesting to hear.
it's also a 33, which is fucking weird. So
Oh wow, okay,
a 33
interesting.
RPM 7-inch. So
Wow,
yeah, definitely a cool release.
I would have found that out the hard way because I would have put it on and been
Oh
like,
yeah,
I guess I don't know, I
this is
guess because
really fast.
yeah, I know because if I'm listening to the B side, I really don't know anything, right? So it's like shit, I don't know what this is supposed to sound like, right? So fucking nice. So there you go. So it's like Copy the Red, Slayer, love it.
All right, that's a cool release. I'm gonna go with actually something that it's a couple things that I bought very recently. But they haven't done these in a number of years, so I'm kind of disappointed. I wish they would bring these back. These are the side by sides. Let me bring myself over here. These are the side by sides where they got one artist on one side and another artist on another. So this is the Highway Star 7-inch, one side with Deep Purple and the other side with Typo Negative. So I picked this up, I don't know, a couple months ago on Discogs because I just kind of remembered these things existed.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh yeah, there's some typo ones. And I'm like, what are these? And this one I spent like $25 and it was the cheapest one on there. There's only two for sale now. They're all $50
wow,
plus.
nice
So
scoop.
I was like, yeah, I'll hang on to that. And these are really cool. I don't know why they're all Warner. They're always Warner artists. And I don't know why they stopped doing
Yeah,
them because they're fucking cool. And I mean, I appreciate the fact that Record Store Day is more about 12 inches and more about albums now. But I kind of like these odds and ends, and you don't have to spend $100 to get them.
yeah, it's yeah,
And
no, 100%.
so that one was out of 3,000 copies
Okay,
worldwide. And then I never knew this existed, but this was Black Record Store Day Black Friday in 2018. And this is another one of those side by sides. This is
oh
Typo
yeah,
Negative with I don't want to be me, and Trivium is doing the cover. So two heavy hitter bands for me.
mm-hmm.
And yeah, this one was cheap. I want to say I think it's got the Record Safari sticker on there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the guy who did that documentary that I recommended to you on YouTube. That
Oh
he
yeah,
goes
yeah, yeah,
around.
yeah.
He curates all the records for Coachella.
Okay,
So it's a really cool watch on YouTube. Check it out. He travels the states every year before Coachella and goes all to different record stores all across the country to buy shit to sell at the pop-up shop at Coachella. that's that guy's store, Record Safari. So
That's
this came from
crazy.
his store. And yeah, this one isn't that $15 is about what it goes for, so it's not crazy. But this one was out of 3,000 copies as well. I wish they would bring these back. Like they're really fucking
Yeah.
cool to me. There's ones I want too. There's still ones that I want to pick up. There's like there's a Holy Diver one with Dio and Killswitch.
Oh yeah, yep.
There's like a Misfits one. There's a Pantera one. There's a Doors one too. I don't know if you might have. There's a Mastodon ZZ Top one that I used to have that I want to rebuy. So
is that money now?
I don't think so. It's like $20. Most of these aren't expensive. This is the because I went through them one night on Discogs, like going through them all, and like this Type O one with Deep Purple is like one of the most expensive ones I found for like 50.
Oh wow, okay.
So there might be something else out there, but yeah, I went with both those. Type O, one of my favorite bands of all time. So didn't pick these up in the moment, but I had plenty of them in the first collection, and was stoked to get these. So I gotta take them out of these PVC sleeves though.
Yeah,
because I always heard bad things with the PVC. So not that I ever like really want to spin these a ton. Like there's other way. Well, actually, I don't want to be me. It's from Life is Killing Me, so I do not own that on vinyl.
Oh, that's the way you got it.
Yeah. So, but
there you go. Yeah. F&A. Yeah, no, I forgot. I think I have the Tegan and Sarah one, and I have that, and I have a. You have another one too. I don't remember the Doors one.
You just said you had the dashboard one.
Oh, that is the one I bought. Yes, there we go. Boom. Okay.
Yeah. You have the Doors, it's Soul Kitchen. So that's I don't know what Doors song that is. Yeah, but it's them, and then X is on the other side. X is covering it.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I'd buy that if I found it. Fucking A.
Yeah, that one you can get for like $10, and it's all the way back from 2013 Market Store Day. So there you go.
That's crazy. All right. So sick. The next one I have, it was a Record Day first. It wasn't anything I bought the day of because I knew this is expensive, and I knew that it was going to hang out because I knew there were going to be more. So whatever. But this is going to be Bruce Springsteen E Street Band live at the Hammersmith Odeon in London in '75. This is just after Born to Run came out. This is Born to Run tour. This is the show they released. This is also I believe the same cover. There you go. I believe it's the same cover. In the Born to Run box set from 2005, they had a new Born to Run documentary in there, and they also had the DVD of this show. And this show was like legendary because it was the first time Bruce went over to the UK, to England, and there was a massive marketing campaign by the promoter in England, and the tagline for the show was "Finally, London is ready for Bruce Springsteen," and that was the tagline for the show. And Bruce fucking hated it because he's like, "That sounds really pompous and fucking weird and stupid. I don't want to be that guy." So notoriously, he went around. That was basically a newspaper like overlay that was on every chair in the venue in the Odeon. So Bruce went through every aisle, every chair that had it on there, and ripped it off. And he wanted nothing to do with that tagline. He wanted nothing to do with it. There is a famous photo in Piccadilly Square, right? That's the London Times Square, I believe. But Piccadilly Square. There was the same thing, that the big banner and stuff. There's a photo of Bruce in front of the banner. It's actually pretty sick, and it's him observing, the happenings and the fact that the big promotion. And so it's sick. It's a really, really cool show. I teared up the first time I saw it because it's just so fucking well done. And he's just a child. Like, he's a kid. He's 26 years old. And it's just crazy to see how young and energetic and crazy he was, and the band was back then. It's a 4 LP set, and it has all the songs you want to hear, obviously, from Born to Run and just prior. It opens with Thunder Road. It's a massive, crazy, a very emotional opener, and goes through most of Born to Run, and then obviously stuff from Greetings and from The Wild and the Innocent. But super cool fucking set. I was really stoked that this did hang out for a while. I actually think that I got this for a birthday present later on. Like, I don't think this was very hard to get because they did make a bunch, and since it was a first, it wasn't an exclusive. They were able to, they just kept pumping them out. So
I
whatever.
like that every sleeve has different pictures. That's nice.
Yeah, no, 100%, and they're all really well done too.
That's good.
I wish, like, I don't know all the ins and outs. I don't know how things work. We talked about this many times with regard to movies, but I would assume most of this was shot on film, and I'm sure they restored it for the DVD, obviously. And it looks pretty good for the DVD. It's very a dark show, so like there's a lot of darkness. Maybe they could possibly pull some stuff out. But if this got refinished and redone for a Blu-ray release or for a 4K Blu-ray release or whatever, if they really wanted to spend the money, and since Sony just paid Bruce $700 million, maybe they care enough to do that, try to squeeze out every dollar they can. I would recommend doing that, restoring, and redoing this. It'd be fucking cool, and maybe make it a little tiniest bit less dark, and make it look maybe a little better, but. Yeah, so there you go. Bruce Springsteen, E Street Band, live Hammersodian in London in 1975.
Yeah, reading the reviews here on Discogs, everybody's saying that it's a really good sounding pressing of that too.
Yes.
And the only thing somebody mentioned was, and I guess I just noticed that it's just all 4 LPs packed into one sleeve, which that kind of sucks.
Yeah, it's a big fat sleeve. Yeah. We're spoiled now with that Van Halen, because that Van Halen is it's a book, has 4 separate sleeves. We both have a handful of things like that. I think the Motorhead's the same way, right?
Motorheads are a really thick book though. Like it's thick,
Okay.
It's nicer than the Van Halen. It's like a hardcover book too.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
Dude,
the way
if
to
the Van
do
Halen
it.
came like that, I'd be stoked. Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just money, you're weighing dollars and cents, but like the Motorheads were not $100 brand new. Like, I understand you want to get more money out of the Van Halen license, but fuck me, brother.
Speaking of Van Halen and boxes, this has nothing to do with it, but I texted Tyler the other day too. The boxes that those Van Halens came in for Record Store Day had brown. They just said brown M&Ms on it. And I texted Tyler, I want one of those fucking boxes.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, there's a store out there selling those.
Oh, I can guarantee.
If you knew what it was, the one store I watched on YouTube, they didn't understand the joke, but because they were like, we got these boxes and they said brown M&Ms on them. We were like, what the hell's in this? We thought it was a mistake. And yeah, I would be ventured to guess, like if a smart record store had those boxes, I would try to make money off of them. If you're allowed to do such a thing, I don't know. But anyways, I'll go with my next one here. Actually, this is outside of the stuff I just paused. This is the most recent Record Store Day item I got. This was November of 2017, so a Record Store Day Black Friday release. Tyler got this one for me, so I'd figure I'd just show it off again. I showed it off in a recent vinyl haul, but Rush with the Closer to Heart single 7-inch, got the hype sticker on it. This is for the 40th anniversary of A Farewell to Kings. Not crazy expensive or anything, but there's not a ton of Rush Record Store Day items out there, so I'd figure I'd throw it in. One of my all-time favorite bands. Great fucking song. Funny thing about this too is they made a 7-inch adapter, a special edition adapter that's in here, and they're all punched off center, so they're literally useless.
Yeah,
it's like, I just find it hilarious that you specifically did that for that reason, and they're useless now. This is 5,000 copies, so there's a ton of copies of this floating around. It's not crazy expensive, but definitely cool to have some Rush stuff for Record Store Day. And I got another Rush adjacent item coming up as well. So
we've never ran into that before either, because you would have bought it. So that's the first time we ever ran into that.
No,
right?
yeah.
I assume.
Yeah. I mean, you looked through the 7 inches way more than me, so I figured you'd see it before I did. But yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah. Definitely getting into the 7-inch game a little bit and trying to get really nice picture sleeves or random stuff that I've never seen before. So yeah, if I had seen it before, I would definitely have pulled it out. But fucking A, love it. All right, so another one that I got, not on Record Store Day, but I bought it afterwards, and it was a big deal because for a long time, it's the only way I could actually possess this record. So Rise Records licensed in 2011, I believe it was. They licensed the Piebald discography, and they put out a 4 LP mini big book box, sort of. So the big record in this here for me is We Are the Only Friends That We Have. And for a long time, that was the only way I could actually have the record. They have all the records are in here, so it's just the sleeves or the vinyl itself. But I I wanted an original copy of that record. It's one of my favorite records of all time, and they were never going to repress it, and it's a trifold, which is pretty sick. And it was $1 million fucking for the originals. I got lucky shortly thereafter. I bought this. I got lucky and managed to find one, I think, for like 35 or so on Discogs, and I went and grabbed it immediately, and I have that to this day. And
Nice.
I was very stoked to get this. They did release CD versions of this as well, and I believe there's 3 different, like, separate CD copies of this. The way they did it, I want to say, but the tri-gatefold, pretty sick.
That's nice.
And yeah, it's sick. And
Yeah,
there's
1,000 copies of it. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, and
they're
they're
very
all
limited.
different colors. So this is the When Life Gives You Lemons record. So I'll put that back in here. And then I gotta re-sleeve these at some point. I've not pulled this out in a long while. And then
I just do it when I buy the stuff now. I just keep a stock because I know if I wait, I'm never gonna do it. Yeah.
Yeah. And this Venetian blinds, so it's on blue, just like the sleeve itself, obviously. And then for the last one,
yeah, there's only one for sale right now on Discogs for 185. Most it's ever sold for was 175.
Yeah, this is the Friends record, and this is on white. It's clear white. I actually found another copy. I want to say it on a MySpace, on a Facebook vinyl group, and I have 2 copies of this, and I found it for like $40, and somebody was selling it, and I was like, all right, I'll buy that. So I have 2 copies of this, and the other one I think is actually nicer than this copy. This is the copy I bought first. So there's not a lot of piebald vinyl out there. I have all the records. And they're supposedly going to do a repress of the Friends record this year for the 20th anniversary, but jury's out. We don't know, and they don't really keep us in the loop on a lot of stuff until they actually drop it. So, whatever. But there you go. Piebald, 3 LP mini box book set from Rise in 2011. There you go.
Very cool. Very cool. I'll go with one here that I did buy on the day. This is another Black Friday 2013, so almost 10 years ago now. This is Devin Townsend with the Devin Townsend Project. This is a 10-inch. This is Lucky Animals. I'm pretty sure this is signed. I don't think this is an auto pen. It looks like a ballpoint pen. On Discogs, it doesn't mention that it's signed, but like all the copies have this. So I'm assuming that it is signed because it's only out of 1,000 copies. So yeah, this is Lucky Animals Live and Truth Live. This is a selection from the Retinal Circus release that he did in 2012, and this is on a solid white vinyl with some custom labels there. This thing is cheap, which really kind of astounds me when I looked up. Not that I care, but it's because it's limited to 1,000. It's Devin stuff, which usually his stuff gets pretty expensive. And there's you can buy a sealed copy for $5 on Discogs right now.
Whoa.
So, yeah,
that's crazy. I would assume it's so weird that it's $105, right? Like that's insane to me. Wow.
Yeah, I would never sell it if it was $500 probably, but yeah. Just weird to me because a lot of his stuff does go up in price. So it's weird that this limited to 1,000 10-inch. I guess maybe because it's a single, like it's only 2 tracks. Maybe I don't know, but definitely a cool song, cool live album too that this is pulled from. So
yeah,
Devin Townsend.
It's
Lucky Animals Live.
It's cool, and I understand. Like I know Devin stuff doesn't really get repressed, and he doesn't make that necessarily a priority a lot. So I would just assume that like that would just roll into it, whether it be a 10-inch or not. I would just assume everything, and the fact that's probably probably not being repressed ever again. It's a one-time release, even more so.
No,
I
yeah.
think it would be money. So that's crazy. All right, fucking A, man, insane. All right. So another one I got here again. This is I did not I purchased. I do go to Rexway and buy stuff. I do this. So this is another one I did not buy on Rexway. So whatever. I've shown this up before, but it's definitely needs to be talked about again. This is the Red, White, and Blue Jimmy World Bleed American. This is from the Coachella Special Zia Press. They did in 2011, I believe it was. It's numbered. This is 936. I think it's out of 1,000 possibly. And has the hype sticker there for it. And I got this signed later on in years later. But it's just fucking cool. Oh, this is actually black. Lied to you. My other ones, I have two of these. I think my other one's the red, white, and blue one. But so because I have two of these, and the other one is sealed. I always thought this was red, white, and blue. I've been lying to myself and for years now. But this is a super cool set because it's the deluxe edition. So it has live cuts, it has demos, it has the live at AOL sessions on here as well when that came out. Which is insane. I always thought that was cool shit.
That's 2011.
Okay.
Am I right?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
10-year.
So, all right. So we'll have to get to the bottom of this. So there's a blue, orange, and white variant released in 2011. It's sold for $250, the highest. Here's the notes: 10th anniversary limited edition 3 LP. Edition of 500. 100 were sold at Zia Record Store tent at Coachella on Record Store Day, April 16th, 2011, and 400 were retained by the band and label for later sale. Numbered on back of gold jacket in gold foil. 3 140-gram LPs: transparent blue, opaque orange, and opaque white.
Okay. So
I'm trying to find another variant here from 2011, a black variant. Do you have like even it's the black one even more rare?
I don't know. So this is the color. It says colored on there, color vinyl.
So it's not red. That one's not red, white, and blue. That one's blue, orange, and white.
Okay. So here's what the sticker says. The stickers are no different. So the stickers say whatever, the press and high quality European vinyl, new and previously unreleased, whatever, blah, blah. But the last gimmick says limited in number of pressing of just 2,000 copies. Has the exact same sticker on both of them. So the fact that, except the only thing that's different, obviously, is this one has the colored vinyl sticker, and this one does not. So I'm going to assume this is I thought it was red, white, and blue, but orange.
The black one is out of 2000.
Okay.
So that was Record Store Day 2011 as well. So they did a black variant out of 2000, and then they did the colored variant out of 500, and then they had them that's the one they had at Coachella.
Okay.
And they sold 100 at the Zia tent. 400 were kept by the label and the band, and I'm assuming sold through probably the web store or something.
Yeah.
What numbers do you have?
So you want to know another layer to this?
Yeah.
This is
because the colored one should be numbered. All right. Yeah, the Discogs listing says the colored ones are numbered in gold foil.
Black and white and numbered.
Maybe the gold. Hold on. Maybe the black and white one is. Black and white one doesn't mention anything about being numbered, so that's weird. Maybe Discogs is wrong.
Maybe also another difference here. The sleeve has holes in it, like processing holes. There's 2 holes right here and right here on it. And you really see that. And there's also on the back the same holes in the exact same spots. This one also has no holes on either side. So, but it has the same stickers except for the colored vinyl. It's not numbered. So the color, I'm assuming this, right? Because I got these at Zia. both of these at Zia actually. This was
Colored,
sold by
colored.
Zia.
Yeah, it was according to this. Yes, it was sold at Zia.
Well, I'm saying this was
100s were
also
sold. Only 100. 400 were kept by the band and the label, so maybe they gave the rest to Zia or something. I don't know. But
yeah.
Also the colored ones are supposed to be numbered.
I got some
no
weird
idea.
stuff going on here.
Yeah,
I got weird stuff. This is crazy. Like I don't want to crack this. Like I whatever. I don't really want to crack it, but
so outer PVC bag has 4 stickers. 1 special colored vinyl. It's a round gray and white sticker in upper left corner.
Well, mine just says color vinyl.
Oh, okay. This says special color. Anyway, number 2, Record Store Day exclusive silver foil sticker in lower left.
So I have it there. This is the black.
That's the black. See, this is the other. I think these listings are all screwed. Number 3, ORG music hype sticker in upper right corner, red, black, and white, rectangular. Yeah. That's on both of them. UPC barcode sticker on rear lower right.
So I don't have barcode stickers. Barcode is on both the records.
Well, interesting. So does that front sticker on there, the black and white, say limited out of 2000?
Yeah, everything on both of them has the exact same gimmick. They say that
your colored one says limited out of 2000 as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's supposed to be out of 500.
Interesting. Does it say 500 on the sticker?
No. Okay. This is confusing. So the notes in here say 10th anniversary limited. This is Discogs notes. So whoever put this in there, the edition of 500. But then it says the stickers are exactly the same.
Okay.
So maybe they just didn't do a different hype sticker.
Obviously. Right.
Really confusing. Really weird.
But also, the other thing is like the only ones that are numbered, the colored, you said, right?
The colored one, it says specifically they're numbered with gold foil. The black does not say anything about a number. Yeah, so I don't know.
I only have the black that's colored, that's numbered, and my colored has no. I think actually, so there was never a sticker on here. There's never another sticker on the barcode that's just on the sleeve. This one, feeling this now, there's a residue of some kind that I feel like there was a sticker on this at one point in time. So, and I cracked this one myself. So I bought this. This is the black and white, or the black one.
Black one.
So this one has the Record sticker, has the regular sticker on it, and I think it's gold stamped, which is not supposed to be. And I believe it feels like there was residue on here. So I think maybe when they sold it, they peeled that off. But there was never.
Yeah, but it's funny because the black version doesn't say anything about the extra UPC sticker. The colored version is the one that says about that extra UPC barcode sticker, which makes sense because they probably took it off to go back to the store or something.
Yeah.
Something weird like that. That's strange. I'd be really curious. Obviously, you're not going to crack it open, but if you ever did, if it actually is colored or that it got put in the wrong bag or something.
Yeah, no, you're 100%. Absolutely.
Because that would mean it very well could just be black.
For sure. But also, so there's something wrong here because this one with the bag and with the barcode, in theory, should be the colored version.
Yeah, it shouldn't be numbered either. Yeah.
And it should be numbered.
It should be numbered if it's colored, yeah. Did you buy that used or new?
No, these are both new, brand new.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm looking at the right releases too because there's only 2 2011 pressings of that listed. They did pressings in 2012 too, but they're on gold. They're gold and silver and blue. Yeah, there's a 2012 pressing on gold, silver, and blue 3LP. And
click on that one.
That is that's the one you have.
Okay. Shit.
So the other one you have is not from Record Store Day. The black one is, but your black one shouldn't be numbered, so I don't fucking know. I think the one you have you have gold, silver, and blue. Because the sticker just says colored vinyl.
Yep.
round and black sticker. That's what you have. The other one said gray and said special colored.
Is this still the same sticker it has on there?
Yes, it says, though the front sticker suggests a limited and numbered pressing of just 2,000 copies, this particular pressing of this color variant is only 1,000 copies.
Okay.
So that's 1,000 copies. They did it the year later. It's still a 10th anniversary edition.
Yep.
Even though it's a year after the fact.
Yeah.
And it's out of 1,000 copies. It's a
Also,
shop Radiocast exclusive, which I don't even know what the fuck that is. So.
There, yeah, it's a website. Yeah, I've done business with them before.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
So there's another variant floating around that you do not have.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they have a couple they've done recently. Like they have a black copy, and I think they might have a blue copy possibly. They've done.
Well, I'm just specifically talking about those sets that came out all around the same time.
Yeah.
10th anniversary one.
The years on here also say 2008.
That's even more weird because they don't have a pressing listed at in 2008.
No, not at all. So why would
what the fuck Interscope? Bro.
Maybe that's when they remastered it.
Oh, that might be. I think that might be true. I think the CD deluxe edition, which is it's the same deluxe editions you saw for all the other ones. That's I guess Interscope probably did them or whatever. Well, it was DreamWorks originally, but I think they bought them all out.
Yeah.
But regardless, Universal, Interscope, everything. That's really weird. Interesting. Okay. Still got questions here, I guess, about this one. Because
the black one is weird because it shouldn't be numbered. It is a record store day release.
But the record store day release wasn't the record store, but there was the black record store day release as well, or was it just the colored?
No, the black one was a record store day release as well, but that was just the regular record store day release. The other one, the one that you don't have, that was Coachella.
Okay.
That was the 500.
What's the 2012 one going for right now?
The one that you have sealed there that we're pretty sure you have, it's gold, silver, and blue, which should be the highest it ever sold for was 300. There's 2 listed right now. 1 sealed for 275 in Canada.
Okay.
So, and the other one that you have, the black one, is highest is sold for 180, and you can get it for around $100.
Okay.
118, 120. So yeah, that's that blue, orange, and white one. That Coachella one's obviously the heavy hitter. There's only 2 listed. One for $500.
Fuck. Okay. Interesting.
There you go.
All right. Learn something new every day about my own stuff. So there we go. Jimmy World, Bleed American, Record Day, and further not Record Day stuff. So
yeah.
Weird. Okay.
Very good. Still confusing though. That sleeve is still numbered and weird though. So it's still weird. All right. Moving on. Here we go. I'm gonna go with the one I bought in the moment and actually have a tape and a LP of this. This is the Pontier release. This is Chris Cornell doing this. This is what the fuck? Matt Dillon's character, Cliff Pontier in Singles. This is his solo band. When he gets kicked out of Citizen Dick, this is like the album that he does and releases. And Chris Cornell was on set, and there was this cassette on set.
Oh yeah, fuck.
Yep. With songs, and this is the cassette that Matt Dillon gives out to one of the like towards the end of the movie, and Chris Cornell and Pearl Jam got together and actually recorded the songs without telling Cameron Crowe, and they gave Cameron Crowe that cassette, and this is those songs. So it's Chris Cornell and Pearl Jam basically doing those songs that were recorded for this fictional guy. So it's a very cool release. This is Record Store Day Black Friday in 2017. I have the green cover just on black vinyl, but I have the green cover. They did green, pink, and orange. Limited to 4,000 copies total out of all the colors. This one gets up there. The highest it sold for is $60.
Mhm.
So definitely a decent amount of money for 5 tracks. But definitely just a cool oddity because it obviously has the movie tie-in
Mhm.
and with Chris Cornell and Pearl Jam too being on it, so it's a double hitter. And the cassette is fairly cheap as well. You can get it for around, I don't know, 15-20 bucks, and the cassette is out of 500 copies. And the cassette's cooler to me because this is actually what he gives out in the movie.
Yeah,
But there's the hype sticker
the legendary
on
Cliff
there.
Pontier demos. That's the
Yeah,
they're keeping it kayfabe.
yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, they don't even advertise like long lost Chris Cornell tracks or anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Um,
if you know, you know, kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. So
That's cool.
definitely stoked to have these in the collection, and the cassette's out of 500 copies total out of all the three colors, so even more rare. But definitely a cool oddity in the collection that probably will never see a repress. So there you go,
Yeah,
the
if
Cliff
it did, it'd be something
Pontier.
different, than what it was before. But
Exactly.
that's crazy. All right. So one I did find in the time here, and I did buy in the time. It's a live record from a band that I love so much, Tegan and Sarah. Tegan and Sarah Get Along. So I like the title is awesome, and it's a really cool live record. I uh, they it was 15 songs. It's on white, I believe, right? Yeah, hell yeah. So it's on white.
Mm.
Uh, they've actually done a lot of Retro Day stuff over the years. I think I have damn near all of it, at least, since 2010, maybe. It's like I think my first thing I ever bought from them Retro Day was Sainthood 7-inch, and I think that was 2010 when that came out. Um, and so new Tegan Sarah stuff, I'm always gonna be stoked on it, even a new record that I'm not really super jazzed on necessarily. But stoked that I was able to find this and pick it up. I think this might have been my heavy hitter for this year. I don't even remember. It might have been my heavy hitter, but it's
It's
them. I believe it's
2012.
full 2012. There we go. I believe it's full band. I haven't listened to this in a minute, but they're so good live. It's one of the few. It's the only show. It's the only show I've ever taken a full video of ever. I'm not the whole video, like a whole show, but I've taken a video of 19, the song 19, because I love that song tremendously. It's the only song I've ever taken a whole video of my entire life at a concert. I'm usually busy doing, having fun, doing other stuff. But yeah, and it's all the way up through the Sainthood tour. I believe this is the tour they did it on, and it's pretty heavy Sainthood too. Now looking at it, which is pretty cool because I like Sainthood a lot. It's a really cool record. But a lot of Con, a lot of Sainthood, and some So Jealous. So fucking awesome. I don't know. I think it's out of 2,000, maybe 1,000.
It is a 3,000 copies.
3,000. Okay, because I know it bounces around still. Like I've still seen this somewhat recently, so the copies are out there.
Mhm.
And whatever. But fucking a, Tegan and Sarah.
There's
Get
a
Along, live record.
Do you have this? There's a CD version that comes with the DVDs. I'm assuming the DVD is the live set. That's
I
kind of cool.
don't have that. I don't have that. I would really much so like that. Yeah, that might be something I need to look into a bit because I would definitely want to watch and have.
I guess not. It's not the set. I guess it's just 3 videos. Take it back.
Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay.
So not as cool. Okay.
Yeah, not as cool. Yeah, you can buy it for $22 right now. So, that happens. And lied to you, just them. They are the only people on this record. It looks like so. It's
That's what I
just
saw.
Tegan and
They were the only people credited. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So lied to you. Need to revisit this a bit, but yeah, fucking love Tegan and Sarah, and have I will never not buy their special stuff. So there you go.
Yeah, they didn't have anything this year.
They did not, no, and they just had a record come out too, which is pretty shocking. But the record's not
Yeah.
good, so it's okay.
All right, I'm gonna go with one of my heavy hitters. This is Black Friday Record Store Day 2014.
Okay.
This is Typo Negative with their debut Slow, Deep, and Hard. This is on a translucent green. This is 1,500 copies. This thing was really expensive before they started doing all the reissues, and now there's Revolver reissues of it and all this other stuff.
Tons of
So
it.
you can snag a copy for like 40-50 bucks, but this is in the
Yeah.
hundreds of dollars for a while. But very, very cool gatefold. Look at those dirt bags on there.
That is cool.
Wonderful. Good write up in here. Very cool pressing of this. Sounds really good. I love this fucking back cover. It's a great back cover to an album right there.
Because it looks like obviously it's a phone booth, right? And then it looks like
Yeah.
urinals. Yeah.
Very true. Yeah.
Interesting.
Very true.
I saw a lot of
So-
Peter Steele today, though, because Jerry Springer died today. So people were posting
Yes.
up like rock and metal, like connection screenshots and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
Pete was on there, so I saw a lot of Pete today.
Yes, he was. He was on there. He was on Jenny Jones too, back in the day. Or no, maybe Ricky Lake. I think it's Ricky Lake. Anyway, very like clear green.
That's awesome.
Cool variant of it. It's like I want to say it's 180, because it's pretty heavy. And yeah, this is their first album is basically just hardcore crossover thrash.
Yeah.
Not gothy at all yet. Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of Peter right there too on the cover, so kind of blurry, but there you go.
Fucking A.
But,
Yeah, there's a
everybody-
ton of typo shit out there right now. So, and
No,
hopefully we get the last record.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just need Life is Killing Me now. So that's the last record that really needs a good repress because it's only in the box. But yeah, good on them, man. I mean, it's good for fans because all this shit was super expensive forever. And even this variant, like, took 2 years ago when I started collecting again and added this back into Discogs. This is regularly 100, 120 online.
Yeah.
Now it's down. You can get a snag copy for like $40. So
Who did that?
this is Metal Blade Records.
Okay.
So I don't even know how they ended up with this because it's still got all the Roadrunner copyright on there.
Yeah.
Metal Blade just, I guess, at one
Licensed
point
it.
ended up and licensed it and ended up with the rights to it.
Yeah. Interesting. Fucking A. All right, man. Fucking typo negative. All right. So another one that I got here. This was my big fish, my big whale. 2 years ago, I believe, or last year maybe. The Doors, the LA Woman Sessions. I usually pick up every year. There usually is a Doors release in some way, shape, or form, and I typically pick up. I have a good maybe 8 or 9 years worth of Doors Extra Day stuff. I'm missing a few things that I've seen out there before, but I just don't want to spend the $45-50 that they're commanding still. And then luckily the really expensive stuff is the stuff that I still have for the most part. Though they're live at the Aquarius, I think it's like $400 right now, which sucks.
Damn.
Because I remember that came out and Mike had some at the shop like afterwards. And that was the first time that we ended up going there, like, you know, when I found that place. And they were at he was at the old location, the original one. And I remember he had like 2 or 3 copies of it. And I don't know if it was like that. It might have been a couple years prior. He still had copies, and they were like $60 or $70. And I remember just thinking, like, that's so much. I don't want to spend that much money on that, right? Fuck. And now it's just monies on monies. But there's other stuff I need to get that's not that crazy. But that's a goal one, a grail, if you will, for my Doors collection. But this, I believe, is out of 7,500, 15,000 because my barcode or my number goes 11,000.
Funny thing about this, the Record Store Day said 11,000. Rhino says 19,500. So
okay, well, I'm gonna go with the Rhino because
yeah,
the my 11,705 is my number.
oh, so you're already over it. So yeah,
I'm already
Gotcha.
over. Yeah, so I proved them wrong. But anyway, so it's made to look like the original master tapes. and has all the writing on there, which I'm a geek and a major mark for tape boxes and shit. So the fact that they actually did the tape box and they did the set like a tape box as well, where it opens up like that.
That's cool.
That's just the coolest shit in the world. I routinely, whenever I see the books that are talking about a record, like the Beatles sets, for example, when I saw the video of them doing the remasters for the Beatles records with Giles Martin, he would pull out those master tapes. And I just, every time I've seen that video, I just marvel at the fact that like this is the genesis, like this is like what you're hearing all the time on the radio and everywhere else. This is this, like this. If it wasn't for this, like these wouldn't exist. Like it's just the first of the first copies, right? Fucking insanities. So I always marvel at that, and like I've seen many photos. Obviously, every year when stuff get remastered, usually the studio will post up pictures of the master tape boxes and stuff. And I just, again, whether I give a fuck with the band or not, it's just I will never not be super geeky and like a child. Like I don't care. Give me the master tape box for a fucking Grateful Dead record or whatever. Like I don't give a fuck about that shit at all. I will mark out and go, this is insane that I have this in my possession, or like I'm touching this, or I'm seeing this even. Like it's just fucking insane to me. There's also like there's a picture from the Discord house, the punk label Discord. There's a picture, I forget who posted it, but one of the guys in one of the old bands posted a picture of it. It's at the Discord house. It's a closet full of all the master tapes from all those records that are just legendary, crazy, huge records. And they're just sitting in there. And I whenever it comes up, I always just catch myself just like zooming in on the picture and just looking at all the boxes and all the little things written on there and little doodles and whatever the hell this and that little information. So yeah, but anyway, Ellie Woman's my favorite Doors record, bar none. And I like the fact that almost all the shit. I know this is a dumb release for anybody that's not a fan of this stuff, but it's just you hear start stops, you hear fuck ups, you hear talking, you hear like just the tape's just running. And for a lot of people, I can completely understand why it would not fucking appeal to you at all, because you don't care about fucking Jim farting on a snare drum, right? But like that doesn't happen really, but damn near. But like I don't know, it's just cool to hear the tape runs and just cool to hear the banter and the camaraderie and just the guys going back and forth and figuring stuff out. It's very cool for me. So it's a 4 LP set, and it has all the songs on here. Obviously it has the different kind of versions and demos, if you will. I don't think any of these songs actually go to the press with these versions. I think these are all different versions than what you ever heard, from what I can remember. I've listened to this a couple times when I first got it. I haven't listened to it since, but just fucking cool. Love it. Doors, fucking awesome. They always have cool stuff. Except for this year when they did 3-inch records. I don't care about that. Give me more stuff. Give me more live shows and I don't know, special editions or something, and I'll buy it. So there you go.
Yeah, that was last year, by the way.
Okay.
2022.
Okay.
There you go.
Love it.
All right. I'm going to go with one here that I bought after the fact, but this is a Record Store Day 2021 release. So they were doing the different drops. This is like the first drop from what Discogs said. This is Goblin, the Greatest Hits Volume 2.
Hell yeah.
I still need to get Volume 1, which I saw floating around forever and I never bought. Okay. It's kicking myself. So I need to look that up.
Also a Record Store Day record?
Yes. Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
I remember it coming out. I think it's probably pretty cheap. This is still pretty cheap. It's like $25. But yeah, this is Goblin. They are an Italian prog band who did all the soundtracks to Italian horror films. So Giallo films. So a lot of Dario Argento films. Really cool proggy stuff. So you're into like Yes and Genesis and shit like that. It's right up your alley. And if you're into horror films, it's even more up your alley. So this is Volume 2. So this is 79 to 01. And it's just selections from that era of films. And it's on like a translucent kind of Coke bottle green. Pretty cool looking there.
That is cool.
Big here. You need to hire a producer.
That's true. Get her on Jamie.
Do all this shit. So yeah, it's kind of a Coke bottle-ish green and cool cover, nice glossy, And there's the gatefold. You got pictures of all the films
That's very cool.
represented. Phenomena, great fucking film. And a write up there as well. So pretty cool release. I think Volume 1 is red.
It is.
If I remember right, yeah. I still need to get that.
Volume
Probably
1, there's 1,500 of Volume 1, and you can get it right now for about $35.
Yeah, so I need to do that before. Yeah,
goes
I need
crazy.
to do that. I need to do that before it goes stupid. There's only 1,500 copies.
No, 100%.
Before some TikTok person decides to put fucking Dario Argento films or Goblin soundtrack in his or her video, and then it blows up.
Yeah, there you go. Fucking A, that's nice. Oh my god, it'll happen. It happens. Everybody has their day on TikTok, right? So
essentially,
it's
how Ghost is one of the biggest bands in the fucking world now.
Is that true? I actually did not know that.
Yeah, dude. Mariana Cross, that song blew up because somebody slowed it down and started putting it on TikTok. It blew up on TikTok, and then they were a big band before, but their like Spotify numbers I think doubled after that shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so that's how a lot of shit fucking happens now. Yeah, that band Sleep Token, the newest big metal band, they're a TikTok band. They just get on TikTok.
Wow.
And that stuff's cool. They're a cool band. It's proggy. It's shit that I would never expect kids to be into today at all.
Yeah.
Because it's proggy, pretty heavy metal. And they also have a lead singer that nobody knows who it is. They covers himself.
Oh, really?
Shit, so. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
So yeah, they're a TikTok band and they're fucking getting big too. So, and they've only been around a couple years. So it happens.
Crazy. All right. Well, there you go.
What you got?
All right. So I got two more. I got three things total. I have two more sets, I guess. This will be
okay. I got a couple more.
You got a couple more. All right. So as I brought up before, Bruce does Rex Day stuff quite often, and I believe this might have been his first foray into that. There's another 7-inch for the Promise box, but I think this is the Promise box is in the middle of these possibly. But it's Bruce Springsteen. This is I can't do it. The Wrecking Ball 10-inch. This is 2011, I believe it is 2010, and it's Ghost Tom Joad as the B-side on the 10-inch. And I don't care about 10 inches really. It's nothing. I would rather a 7, I guess, just to make things easier because I have maybe 27 or 10 inches maybe, and I have a ton more 7 inches. It's just convenience factor. I guess I'd prefer to 7, but it's still pretty cool. And this is the Street Band. This is the Carousel live set that they did, and so they did Gotta Get That Feeling. So they recorded front to back. At this venue, they recorded Darkness on the Edge of Town, and they shot it for a DVD that they released in the Darkness box set. So that's why they did this. And then they did Racing the Street. It's the 78 version, which is different than the other versions they did. So it's just those two versions from 2000 and I believe at that point be 2009. I think they did it, and then they just I don't know why they did it here now, but regardless, this is 2011. I think this came out. Super stoked on any kind of Bruce stuff. He does things quite often. I think at least 2 or 3 other 7 inches over the years, and it's cool to see anything he puts out, especially live releases, which this kind of qualifies as that, right? If anybody's interested and you're a Bruce fan, I'd recommend looking up the Carousel sessions and watching him do Darkness songs because it's the first time he does a lot of those songs in a long time. So if you're itching for the Darkness songs that he may or may not have dropped in the set list years and years ago, go watch the Carousel sessions because he still does now, fucking kills it. The band is still really good. Clarence is still alive, which is nice. So fucking awesome. It's a really cool, it's an empty venue, empty arena match. So it's just them just doing the songs full through, just having fun, with themselves with a ton of cameras around. But yeah, so there you go. So Bruce Springsteen, the 10-inch records from 2010, 2011, other cool stuff. There you go.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, another, he didn't have anything this year either.
Did not. But now it's completely up to Sony. So I don't know. Maybe they don't care about Extra anymore. Who knows?
I mean, they don't give a shit about money. He spent all this money to buy his shit, and he don't put anything out. I don't know. I also don't hear a lot of Bruce Springsteen shit on commercials or movies. So, like, what are you doing with it?
I don't know. Like, I always thought, we talked about this before with other bands. Like, I always wonder if they can't. There's no way they could possibly do it. But if they put a thing in the contract that said you can use this anywhere as long as I approve it, like, that's the only way that I could kind of think that they would never really license out this shit anywhere. Like, it's counterproductive to you buying the shit, which is stupid.
Yes. Yeah, big time.
If I'm giving you almost $1 billion. If I want to put it in a fucking Tide commercial, I'm gonna put it in a Tide commercial. I'm sorry, brother. Like, I give you $1 billion. We're gonna do this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's stupid.
All right. Let me go with my next one. I got a couple more. This is from last year's Record Store Day. This is the Ramones box set from last year. This is their 80s albums. Almost all, not end of the century, not the Phil Spector album. So you almost get all the records. Almost. It's funny, they hype it up as the Ramones 80s albums, but there's a one missing. But anyway, yeah, this is Pleasant Dreams, Subterranean Jungle, Too Tough to Die, Animal Boy, Halfway to Sanity, Brain Drain, and then you get a rarities with B-sides and different versions and shit. All pretty much black vinyl, except the rarities is on like a pink splatter. Really cool box set. Honestly, it was really fun diving into this all throughout basically last year because a lot of the shit I haven't heard. Like, I've always been a Ramones appreciator, and this box set, like, I grew my appreciation way more. So and just get a big giant chunk of the catalog done right at once. And it wasn't too much money either. I want to say it was like 150, maybe $200. You can still get copies of this. There was a lot of copies. I think there's like 14,000 or something. And 14,000 copies worldwide. So you can still get copies of this on Discogs for, 150, $200. So, yeah, if you're dabbling or want to dabble, take a chance on it, especially if before it might become even more fucking money. So that's always the risk you take. But just was a cool kind of a history thing to dive in and learn more about the band and get a bigger appreciation. And honestly, like a lot of this 80s shit probably more than their like classic early records. I still need to get the early records on vinyl. They're just everywhere. They're always cheap. But yeah, Ramones, the 80s Sire albums box set. So there you go.
Hell yeah. Yeah, I only know, I guess the songs. I'm not too deep on the Ramones. I do have the first record, and actually, I believe I have a first pressing of the first record as well.
Wow.
Yeah, fucking insane. Like,
I'll buy that off you.
We'll see. Might be hard up one day. Who knows? But yeah, I just have that, and it's cool to see. It's always good to knock out a vast majority of a band's output all at once, especially if it's not crazy expensive. You can't really say no to that shit. But yeah, I'm glad that it hasn't shot up insane yet. So if people want to get it, they can get it. That's always a good thing. So,
yeah.
Fucking A. All right, last one. I got to mention my boys, Manchester Orchestra, the Black Mile demos. These are all the demos off the Black Mile record that came out in 2017. And they did this Record Day 2018, I believe, for the actual Record Day that year. Or actually, Black Friday. I do. It says it right there. Jesus Christ.
There you go.
They've done a few things for Record Day in the past. But this is by far my favorite thing they've done because I like hearing the progression of things. That's always something I'm into. Like, I know a lot of people don't give a shit. They don't care about the odds and ends and, B-sides and whatever. And I get it. There's a reason why stuff didn't come out, right? There's a reason why we don't put these things out, right? But for my taste and my fandom, not just for them, like, they're my favorite band, so I'm going to buy everything and have everything. But for a lot of bands, they just put out demo records. I like for Record Day or otherwise, I would probably be into it, like interested in listening to it. And yes, you're not going back to it a lot, but again, just for historical purposes or whatever, just for curiosity's sake, it's cool to listen to this shit and kind of just see where things kind of expanded on later, or previous ideas, original thoughts, whatever. Just cool to hear that stuff. So this has 6 songs on here. It has the, I guess, heavy hitters, if you will, that were off the record. Most of these were singles at some point. And it's also the first, I guess, the first iteration for the song I Know How to Speak, which is a really big song for them now, for the fans. So the demo on here is super cool, and then they released it later in the full studio form. But I don't know I don't know if it's super expensive. It's probably not cheap, but it's probably not super expensive. But this was definitely my big one a couple years ago, or I guess 4 years ago, 5 years ago now. Wow. So there you go. Manchester Orchestra, the Black Mile session or demos. There you go. Love it.
Let's see here. Okay, that's weird.
Doesn't exist. Made it up.
No, I just clicked on the link and it's 404'd me. Let's see here. It's out of 2000, so not many of that. That was Records Today Black Friday 2018. Highest it's ever sold for was 62. There's 7 copies online. You can buy a VG Plus for 40.
Okay.
Ranging from 40 to $70. So decent price for something with not a ton of tracks, demos too. So definitely has increased in value there. All right. I'm gonna do my last few. I got basically one that's a 2 for this came out last year. What's that?
Said break them out.
Oh, break them out. Gotcha. This one came out last year. Alice in Chains, We Dot Young EP. This is their first EP. This is cheap as hell. This is 14,000 copies of this. That's mass.
Wow.
Way overproduced. You can buy a $12 copy right now if you want to. Cool thing about this is Killing Yourself is on here. That's the only way to own this song is on this EP. I don't even think it's on the Music Bank box set. Could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure it's not. This is very cool. Just if you're into Alice in Chains, it's obviously a big piece of the band. This is originally released in 1990 as a promo only. So this is when the band first is starting out. So very cool to own that. To go along with that, I actually got this last year too, but this is from 2016 Black Friday. Tyler and I went to Thunderbird as we do every Record Store Day, and I was flipping through the Alice in Chains section, even though there's anything in there, and this happened to be in there, and I've kept this bitch sealed because this is not cheap. This is Alice in Chains live facelift. Like I said, they released this in 2016 Black Friday, so this ended up in the record store, still sealed. Wasn't a pre-owned sticker, so it was old dead stock that they found, and it was what, 6 years later?
Yeah.
So 6 years later, this is out of 5,000 copies, so much more limited than the last piece. The highest it ever sold for was $150. So I didn't open this. It's still sealed. A lot of cool tracks on here. It Ain't Like That, Man in the Box, Real Thing, Love, Hate, Love, Sea of Sorrow, Bleed the Freak. A lot of heavy hitters on there. And live facelift. So this is probably, I didn't look up the show, but it's probably 90 as well.
Yeah.
So this thing is not cheap. And then it was $20.
Yeah.
Like brand new. I can't remember the exact price, but I want to say it was like $20, $25.
100%.
So I don't know what happened. They only had one copy of it. I don't know. They just found it somewhere. But usually when they get sealed stuff in, they will still call it pre-owned. This did not have a pre-owned sticker on it. This is just like a new release that they found. And this is legendary 1990 Seattle show. And it is numbered on the back. And I have number 426. So kind of it's later in the run there. Or I guess, I thought it was at a 500. No, you're right. It's 5,000. So definitely early. So very cool. And it's just going to stay sealed because this thing is just going up and up. So there you go.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. Like I know for ZM particularly, I know that they do put special stuff out for Records Today. I would assume they did the same there, but that it was just in the also Jane section. It wasn't like on the wall or anything. It wasn't anything special. So
No.
it was just happenstance that you even looked over there, because typically we don't, because just the lines and stuff. We don't really look through a lot of sections of the bands we were looking for, just because it's probably not there. You know, the thing we were looking for maybe, and there's probably nothing that we need in there, and just also time. But yeah, it's just crazy. We made our way over there and you fucking found it instantly. It's crazy.
Yeah. This next one I pulled out because we just saw this band live. But there's the hype sticker for this. And this is out of 8,500 copies. This came out last year as well, just on black vinyl. There is an etching though, which is kind of cool. So I'll show that off real quick. The band is Gojira.
Hell yeah.
And there's the etching.
That's cool.
With the logo on there. And this is live at Brixton Academy. Okay. And again, this came out last year, 8,500 copies. They are, to me, they're one of the best live metal bands going today.
Yeah.
You know, when Tyler and I saw them, we saw them Record Store Day. That was a part of the day too. They weren't playing Record Store Day, but they just happened to be here on Record Store Day with Mastodon. And I told Tyler, like, I saw Gojira open for Behemoth to like 500 people in like a 2,000 seat venue marquee. And, you know, them and Mastodon, if it wasn't a sellout, it was fucking close to selling out a good theater here with 5,000 people. Yeah. And so there's Gojira live at Brixton Academy. Got Mario on the cover. Mario to me is one of the best drummers going today in metal. There's the back. There is the gatefold. Very cool live shots. This is a really great set. And like I said, they're one of the best live bands going today. So this thing is still really cheap. So if you want to, yeah, Tyler actually got the set list from the show.
This is their set list, right?
No, that is not. That's Kovavertic or whatever. Okay, so that's the first set list.
Yeah,
that you got. That's not from last Saturday.
No, yeah, this is the time before we saw them. Yeah. Fucking A. They're killers. So, I'm sorry, keep going.
Yeah, but you also got the set list from Saturday night too.
I do got this I got the Mastodon. So for Mastodon,
you got the Mastodon. I thought you had to go hear a set. I'm sorry.
No, I got Mastodon. This is the first time we saw him, like 5-6 years ago now. I don't know. This is the first time we saw him, and they played a healthy set here.
Yeah.
So and then Saturday, I don't have a sleeve on it yet, but yeah, we got this fucking so sick. And then also the little fire emblems. Gojira on this round. I don't know. I don't know if Ty knows maybe how much fire they used previously, but this go round they used a lot of fire.
Yeah.
It was crazy. And then Mastodon also used the same setup, not the same setup necessarily, but they also used that in their set as well. And from what it sounds like, they also don't do fire very often. So this tour is super sick. They play awesome and amazing. They sound fucking great and tight and shit. But just the production is just next level. It's insane.
Yeah. Great live band. And I had to pull that set out because it sounds fantastic. You know, progressive death metal band, but honestly, really accessible. If you've never listened to death metal in your life, you could get into Gojira. Really just cool, fucking heavy riffs, great production. And Gojira sounds like no other band.
Yeah.
Like they sound like completely themselves. So that is a great fucking set. It is really cheap. You can get it on Discogs for like 25 fucking bucks, which is cheaper than I paid for it. So if you want to listen to a great live set, I recommend it. I got two more items. This also came out last year, but this is Black Friday last year. This is Unto Others, one of my favorite new bands. This is Strength 2, the deep cuts. This is B-sides and demos that didn't make their last album, Strength, that came out 2021 or early 2022. Can't remember. But anyway, this is the stuff that didn't make the album. And it sounded like a kind of a dark blue there. And yeah, this is really cool. This is Record Store Day first, so you can get the other copy. This is pretty cheap, but you can get the other copy for even cheaper. And this was out of 1,000 copies for this variant. So I'm super stoked to get this because this band, mark my words, I'm usually right about this shit. This band will be big. They will blow up. I'm not saying they're going to be like Ghost big, but they'll be doing like the Dodge Theater type 5,000 people shows. I mark my words. If they stick together and Roadrunner does right by them and they keep releasing solid records, like I still think they're gonna be big-ish in the scene.
That's awesome. That's the one. Is it the release that In Groove had it for like $60?
Yes.
And we bought it for 20.
I bought it for like 15
or 15. Yeah, it's yeah. Okay. Insane.
Yeah, so somebody just marked it. I don't think they were marking it up maliciously. I think they just completely fucked up.
Yeah, they just the spreadsheet was weird. I don't know. Somebody made a mistake somewhere for sure.
All right, my last pick I'm gonna do is a Rush adjacent item. Something I didn't buy on Record Store Day, but it came out in 2019 Black Friday. And I saw this at Zia. It was T-Bird, and I didn't buy it. And I'm like, it was still sealed. And I'm like, man, I got to go buy that. It's not expensive on Discogs, but I'm like, this thing will probably become expensive someday. So Geddy Lee with his solo album, My Favorite Headache. This is the first time on vinyl, remaster audio, limited to 5,000 copies. Got 2 unreleased bonus tracks as well. And it's got a poster in here also. Just black, but you get a gatefold.
That's awesome.
And the back. And here, let me go big here. And actually, Matt Cameron drums on this, who's in Soundgarden and Pearl Jam. And
very cool.
This is good stuff. This is good shit. 2000. So this is after Rush broke up and right before the comeback. It's funny. I was reading a review of this today when I was listening to it, and the guy was like, yeah, it kind of gives you an idea what Rush would sound like if they did another record after Tester Echo and never broke out. And I'm like, not really, not at all. The first track is like Primacy. You could tell like Geddy was just influenced by the shit he was listening to at the time. It's Primacy, it's very kind of late 90s, early 2000s productions. Good shit, but it's not like Rush to me, other than Geddy's voice. Even his bass playing sounds different. Like I don't think any of these bass riffs he would put in a Rush album. But it's a cool record, cool oddity if you're into Rush and you want to listen to something else other than the same Rush albums over and over again.
No, for sure.
Gives you something else to listen to. So there you
go. What's that out of? If you remember,
it's out of 5,000. It's still pretty cheap on Discogs. You can get it for $35 to $50. So,
there's not 5,020 Rush fans that want that in their collection right now. That's kind of crazy to me. It's not more expensive.
Yeah, who knows? I think something like that will probably appreciate over time. Yeah. There's probably not going to be many represses of it at all. I mean, that's the first time on vinyl ever. Rush shit itself doesn't really get repressed.
Yeah. So, as we've like talked about numerous times.
With the 90s shit especially. So
yeah.
It's definitely an oddity in the Rush catalog. It'd be cool if Alex is because doesn't Alex have a solo album like right around the same time? Or didn't he did one like recently?
We did he did the project recently that it's not called Alex Light. It's like
he did Victor in 96. That's what I was looking for. That'd be pretty cool if that had a LP release, which I don't think it does.
Interesting.
So
Envy and None is the new record.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know if that has a vinyl release either. So anyways, guys, that's it. That's all I brought tonight. Tyler ran through his. So we covered Record Store Day 2013, and we covered our favorite releases from over the years and stories.
2023.
So what's that?
You said 2013.
2023. And no worries.
Cut that.
See, you don't really know. It's like, in theater, you make a mistake, you're not supposed to mention it because most people aren't going to catch the mistake. So thanks.
We're not in theater, okay? We're on podcasts where we like to be fact centric, okay?
I'm just saying, and
So-
literally, probably like any entertainment medium. Like, if you make a mistake, just go with it. Don't even mention it because
We are
most
fact
people aren't
forward.
2023 releases. So we went over our 2023 releases and our favorite releases from the last number of years. If you made it 2 hours into this extravaganza, I didn't think this was going to be this long, but it always just turns into this fucking long. Hit the like button, subscribe, comment down below. What are some of your favorite RSD releases? What did you pick up this year? Did you pick up the Taylor? Did you pick up the Van Halen? Pick up anything else? That 1975 is crazy expensive now.
Real expensive.
Mike at the in group just got his cassettes in like yesterday that he was supposed to get
Oh wow.
for Records for Day. So there's cassettes floating around if you want them. Those will probably be expensive too. But we always choose the topic for next week at the end of every episode. And Tyler chose tonight's topic, so it is my honor to choose the topic for probably next week. I might put this up a little early, so the release schedule might get a little weird. But anyway, the next time we do the podcast, we will be doing a little segment called Bin or Spin.
All right.
And this is something I maybe want to bring to the podcast maybe once a month. And when we start bringing Josh back on in the summertime, maybe he can join us too, because it could be a fun topic for the three of us. So Bin or Spin is a topic that Tyler and I do kind of all the time. I just came up with that name though. So you either spin it or you bin it. Either leave it in the bin or throw it away or whatever. So for example, I'm going to think of topics for Tyler. I know a lot of Tyler's favorite bands, songs, shit like that. Yeah. So like, for example, I'm going to say bin or spin, Van Halen or Guns N' Roses. Wow. Tyler has to choose one to spin and choose one to get rid of for the rest of his life. He can never listen to them. Anytime the song comes on the radio, it's just nothing. Like Tyler hears nothing. Anytime it comes on the TV, you hear nothing.
So we are dealing with the supernatural here. So we are doing that in this
yes.
philosophy or the scenario. Yes,
definitely. Like you lose your whole concept of the band that you do not choose. Yeah. So I'm gonna ask Tyler to think of, maybe 10 bin or spins for me and 5 to 10, and I'll think of 5 to 10 for him. And like I said, I think I want to bring this maybe once a month to the show. I think it'd be fun, maybe as a side segment or its own episode, but we'll try it out as its own episode next week. So that should be fun. But anyways, guys, we'll see you next time on the Living Deadwax podcast. Peace.
Hell yeah.